Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment for coaching my links are down below. In today's video, we are talking all about the 13th zodiac sign, why it's important, and how it's actually linked to source consciousness. I will be breaking down why that is. You will see very clearly that this is a sign that is supposed to represent source, right? If that sounds good to you, I would like to ask that you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and if you see the option to, I would like to also ask that you hype up this video for your boy and for all the people that want to see me on different podcasts. Hit up your favorite podcast host and tell them to get Genie Dot on their video or on their podcast. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So I want to state real quick that all of the zodiac signs, right, are actually linked to the 12 planes of existence. I break this down on my Patreon. I broke down every single zodiac sign and how it is linked to a certain plane. Now understand this, right? There are 12 planes of existence, but you could say 13 if you're considering source. Now, source is not a plane of existence because source exists beyond existence. That's one of the reasons why the number 13 is so hidden, because source isn't inside of creation, right? Now, it's also because they want you to forget about source consciousness, right? But the other reason why the number 13 is so ignored, right? Like with the 13 months and stuff, like the reason why it's so ignored is because source doesn't exist. Or let me rephrase that. So, I was gonna say that source does not exist in creation, but technically source does through us. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the source that is manifested in creation. But my point is, source exists outside of creation. So when you're inside of creation, it's kind of hard to find source unless you understand the deeper truth of who you are and what everything is, because creation is kind of like the body of source, right? Think about the different bacteria inside your body. They're not really aware of you as a being. They're just inside of your body, experiencing the insides of your body. It's the same with us sometimes. We are inside of source, experiencing ourselves, but we kind of forget that. And we forget about the source consciousness, which makes all of this, and how we are a part of that, because we're currently inside of it. But once you go outside of creation, I don't mean outside the physical construct and the physical plane. That's not what I mean. Because outside the physical plane, there is still more creation. It's when you go outside the whole entire omniverse that you actually hit source. I made a video on YouTube about the planes and the omniverse, and I break down every single plane individually on my Patreon. I have videos about the 12 planes on my Patreon, and I have a video about the 12 zodiac signs and how they're linked to source. But now we have the 13th zodiac sign. The 13th zodiac sign literally is source. And I want to prove that by pulling up a slide from one of my PowerPoints, right? So this is a slide that I made to break down Ophiuchus and the reason why Ophiuchus is linked to source consciousness. So I'm just going to start reading it from the top, right? This is also how I made my video on my Patreon about the 12 zodiac signs and how they are linked to the different planes of creation, right? If you want to see that, go check it out. Patreon's very cheap, only $10. But let's talk about Ophiuchus. So Ophiuchus is the 13th zodiac sign and is associated with source consciousness. Astrologically, Ophiuchus is associated with the qualities of physical and emotional healing, a desire to help others find new perspectives, and continuous transformation and renewal. Mythologically, Ophiuchus is associated with, I don't know how to say that name, but it's associated with the guy who is a healer so great that he could resurrect others by watching a snake. Oh, my fault. Whoa, I skipped a line. So great that he could resurrect the dead, right? Which eventually angered the gods and led to his death. It is said that he learned how to heal others by watching a snake. Hence why Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer. So inside the myth, right, Ophiuchus is this guy, I can't pronounce the name, but he is a very gifted healer, and he's able to literally resurrect people from the dead, right? Now, this angered the gods like Hades and stuff like that, which made Zeus want to kill him. You see, or made Zeus want to unalive him. Sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. I know how y'all be with the. I don't even know what to call it, but chill on me, bro. Anyway, yeah. Now, Ophiuchus is called the serpent bearer. And it's said inside the myth that he watched the snake heal other people, and that's how he learned how to heal. Now, I'm going to keep on going, and we're going to break down how this all wraps in, right? So the reason why Ophiuchus is associated with source consciousness is because Ophiuchus is the sign that has mastered the forces of creation, which is symbolized by the snake. See, the snake has always been a symbol of life and death, transformation, as well as the forces of creation itself. Ophiuchus, being the serpent bearer, means that he controls the serpent. Controlling the serpent means that he controls all of creation and is able to manipulate the forces so well that he can literally bring dead people back to life, right? Source exists beyond creation and has full control over creation. When one connects to their divine nature as source, they can be seen as becoming resurrected with new life, since before their consciousness was dead, but has now been brought back to life through becoming aware of his true divine nature. It's funny because at work today, right, I was reading the Bible and I was reading Romans. I forgot what chapter, but inside that chapter, they were talking about the resurrection of Christ and how this also a symbol for you. How before that you were dead, right? It's like your body is dead. But when you realign with Christ, Christ being the anointing, your awareness of yourself as source, you become resurrected just like Jesus, right? Jesus died and was resurrected. You see? You can be resurrected if you get in tune with source. You see, it's actually said in many cultures, even with Egypt, right? In Egypt, it's actually said that the body is dead, but it's resurrected through the spirit, through source, right? Yeah. So let me get back to this, right? And I'll talk more about that. So there are also malevolent beings in creation which don't want people to be aware of their divine nature, so they deliberately do things to keep people unaware of their true nature, which is symbolized by the gods being angered and killing Ophiuchus. The gods in that story being symbols of the beings in creation who seek to rule creation and the beings within inside of it, rather than these beings awakening and transcending the rule of the people who want to control creation, right? Even inside the myth, right, Hades was mad because since Ophiuchus kept on bringing people back to life, Hades had no souls to rule over, right? Now, in real life, people try to hide source consciousness. The people who do this are the evil rulers of creation who want to keep you stuck in creation and not aware of your divine nature as the source of creation. That's literally what they're doing. That's why 13 is so hidden. Not only is source existing outside of creation, there are certain beings that don't want you to know about your divine nature as source, so they do the most to hide the truth. Now, here's the thing, right? If you watched my video about creation and control structures, you understand that control structures are kind of a part of creation, and that not all control structures are bad, but the people on earth who made all of the evil control structures, they did it because they're attached to creation and don't want it to end. So they keep you bound to creation by keeping you unaware of your divine nature. But Ophiuchus has mastered the serpent. He's mastered creation. And the thing is, right, if you really understand the Scorpio zodiac sign, you'll understand that the Scorpio zodiac sign deals heavily with creation and destruction because Scorpio is the 8th zodiac sign, right? It's linked to the 8th plane of existence. That is where you have the celestial gods and the titans, which I mentioned inside my video about creation and control structures. Celestial gods deal with creation, titans deal with destruction. Okay? The 8th plane is all about creation and destruction. It's literally about how creation is made from the template inside the 9th plane of existence. If you guys don't understand the planes, just go to my Patreon, learn about the planes. I talk about it. Also, to understand Scorpio better, in a better way, watch the video I just made on Patreon about Scorpio specifically. Scorpio is a very deep sign that people don't fully understand. And one of the symbols of Scorpio is actually the snake. You can look it up. The snake is oftentimes also associated with Scorpio. This guy's controlling the snake. He's controlling creation. That's Source. Source is the true ruler of creation. But there's certain beings that want to rule creation and make you forget that you are the true master of creation. When you tap back into Source consciousness, you gain control over those forces. You gain control over that Scorpio energy that deals with creation and destruction. Now you become resurrected, right? Before, your consciousness was dead. There's various cultures that say when you are not aware of your divine nature, your consciousness is dead. When you tap back into Source, you become reawakened to your divine nature, and it's like being resurrected. That's why inside the myth, Ophiuchus can bring people back to life. That's Source. Source brings you back to life. And there are certain beings that are mad about that because they need you to stay dead in order to rule over you. Hades is the ruler of the dead. Hades got mad that he had no souls to rule because nobody was dying. Ophiuchus healed them all. Right now, you're in creation. These malevolent beings can only rule over you if you stay dead. If you stay unaware of your divine nature. Death is a symbol of unawareness. Right? Tapping back into Source makes you aware again. It gives you life again. Now these evil beings cannot rule over you. Now they're getting mad that they have no souls to rule over. Just like Hades. Hades was tight. He's like, yo, bro, what's up with this guy healing everybody and stuff like that? I got no souls to rule over. That's how these evil people feel. That's why they try to kill Source or unalive Source. They try to get rid of that understanding of Source. So that way you cannot become resurrected and transcend them. It's funny because I learned about the importance of Ophiuchus. Today is Tuesday. I learned about it on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, right? I think it was Saturday, right? All I know is that the very next day I saw a video by a guy named Cave of Mystery. He was explaining that Christ was Ophiuchus and his 12 disciples are the 12 zodiac signs. That shit made sense to me. And what is Christ in the Bible? He's the embodiment of God, the Most High, of Source. Christ is Ophiuchus. The 12 disciples are the 12 zodiac signs. The 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 zodiac signs. If you guys want to check out that guy for yourself, I actually like his channel a lot. The Cave of Mystery. Go check out his channel. He made a video called, I think, Ascension Codes. That's where he mentioned that. And he mentioned that right after I learned about this shit. So I'm like, yeah, nigga, I resonate with that shit. Nigga, Ophiuchus is Source. Christ is the human embodiment of Source. Of course, Christ would be Ophiuchus. Of course, his 12 disciples would be the whole entire zodiac sign. And the thing is, right, although the serpent can be linked to the Scorpio energy, understand that the 12 zodiac signs being the 12 planes of creation, this means that Ophiuchus also mastered all 12 planes of existence, because every single plane of existence is a certain aspect of creation which Ophiuchus now has mastery over, because Source is the master of all the 12 planes. When you access Source consciousness, you become the ruler of all the 12 planes. You become the master of it. You become the master of your life and creation, you see? So this zodiac sign is actually very important. I recommend that you meditate on this, try to understand this for deeper zodiac meanings. Go to my Patreon and stuff like that. I'm ending this video right here. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace. The freak out. You feel me?